Doesn't help the on and proper, right? Yeah.
We're live, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. Have we done our, do we need to wait 10 seconds?
Already done.
Oh, all right, even better. All right, we will call the meeting to order at, I've got 11 o'clock. Please stand and join us for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Manry, please call the roll.
Trustee Cicconetti?
Present.
Trustee Hillier?
Present.
Trustee Pennock?
Present.
Fiscal Officer Patriarca?
Present.
We are present and accounted for.
All right, thank you. We're going to open with a public hearing for zoning case 21 ZC01.
Probably do the changes include and then have them read the history, I would think.
Sure. The changes include definitions for two line-of-sight safety triangles in section 5.96 and 5.97. A definition for ingress and egress gates in section 5.91. Standards and illustration for line-of-sight safety triangles in section 6.13. Standards for fence installation in section 6.14C7. And standards for an ingress egress gate in section 6.14H. Could you please read the history?
I can. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. History of the change request for case number 21ZC-01, which is a proposed text amendment for sections 5 and 6. January 27th, 2021, the original application was filed. February 24th, 2021, Lake County Planning Commission recommendation was an approval with modifications. March 8th, 2021, Painesville Township Zoning Commission public hearing opened and continued to April 12th, 2021. April 12th, 2021, Painesville Township Zoning Commission public hearing was closed. April 12th, 2021, Painesville Township Zoning Commission regular meeting recommendation was approval with modifications. April 20th, 2021, meeting date received by trustees. May 7th, 2021, legal ad published for trustees. May 18th, 2021, Painesville Township Trustees hearing at 11 a.m. And that brings us to today.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor of zoning, of the proposed changes in zoning case 21ZC01? Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to zoning case 21ZC01? Hearing none, we will go ahead and close the public hearing for zoning case 21ZC01
Time.
at 11:04 a.m. Thank you. I'd ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the May 6, 2021 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Summary of the work session, please.
Mr. Chairman, the trustees met in executive session this morning to discuss contract negotiations for police protection from the Lake County Sheriff's Office and to discuss imminent litigation. The trustees in the regular work session discussed the community reinvestment area that we have created in the township. We are working on the guidelines and requirements for residential CRAs, which we will set a special meeting to discuss later on. The trustees decided to join the Lake County Visitors Bureau. The trustees discussed discharging firearms in the township, particularly in residential neighborhoods. The trustees discussed Family Fun Days, made some plans for that community activity, which will be held on August 28th. Trustees discussed an applicant for the assistant zoning position, Patrick O'Haron. The fire chief gave a report on station repairs. He also discussed some department events, including a student from Riverside doing a ride-along with the fire department as part of their senior project. He discussed efforts to educate and recruit students into the firefighting industry. And he also discussed routine maintenance on fire hydrants throughout the township. The service director discussed the Lawn and Garden Award that the Township Trustees annually award. We do awards in June, July, and August. The service director gave an update on road projects that are ongoing in the township and reported on the Paint a Plow program that they held at the service garage. The zoning inspector discussed zoning case 21-ZC-01. Zoning inspector discussed an application for a car wash in the township. And the trustees had a healthy discussion about the noise resolution and ATV vehicles in the township. That pretty much covers it, Mr. Chairman.
Healthy.
Healthy.
All right, thank you.
Spirited.
Do we have any old business from the floor?
Any hands raised? No? Okay.
Do we have any new business from the floor? Hearing none, we'll move on.
Did
Lake
you
County
have anything
Sheriff's
you wanted
Office
to
report?
discuss? Sir, did you have anything you wanted to discuss? Okay.
Just like trustee meetings.
That's what I thought.
Let's see. For the month of April, 2021, we had 1,398 calls for service, of which 9 were in injury accidents, 4 were property damage accidents involving vehicles. We had 4 disorderly conduct arrests, 4 domestic violence arrests, 1 trafficking and drugs arrest, 7 possession of drugs arrests, 2 weapon involving firearm violation arrests, 1 protection order arrest, 1 fleeing and eluding from a deputy arrest, and 1 criminal damage arrest. We had 50 alarms, 16 citations for various traffic offenses, 204 warnings for various traffic offenses, 15 driving under suspension citations, and 4 operating a vehicle intoxicated arrests. We had 31 animal complaints, 30 ATV complaints, disabled vehicles 18, disturbances we had 32, domestic violence incidences, not exactly arrests, but where we had to get involved is 27, 2 fights in progress, 7 harassment threats, 18 hazards, 12 juvenile complaints, 8 mental health admissions into the hospital for mental health evaluations, 4 missing persons reports, 8 neighbor disputes, 17 noise complaints, 3 overdoses from narcotics, 2 sex offenses, 5 shots fired complaints, 1 stolen vehicle, 72 suspicious circumstances, including vehicles and persons, 19 theft investigations, 40 traffic complaints, 54 traffic details where we set up radar or evaluate traffic or intersections. 10 and that's only when they record them. We do more than that. 10 vandalism investigations, 21 vehicle lockouts, and then 27 welfare checks of either the elderly, children, or people that somebody has a concern about their well-being. Of those arrests, 1 came from Lake Dine and Dance, one of the drugs came from Get Go. Save a Lot had a disorderly, Giant Eagle had a possession of drugs. And the new shop on Northridge, the restaurant, bar and grill, one of the disorderly conducts came out of there. The flock cameras are still going good. It should be coming in here shortly, and we'll get that set up. We already kind of talked about the noise ATV complaints. Any other questions you have?
I had 2.
Yes.
So you mentioned 30 ATV complaints. So, so ATVs on the roads are a serious concern. Can you, and so I don't want to downplay that at all. Do you have an estimate on, of those 30 complaints, how many households generated those complaints? Do we get 30 from, 20, homes and residents, or do we get 30 complaints from two or three?
Okay.
Or do we, yeah.
I don't have that official number right now. I can break that down for you. But I can tell you, just to give you an idea, we probably get 4 a day from.
Correct.
Bow
From one
haul
person,
alone.
yes.
So, I can break that down for you more.
I'd be curious to know how many, I guess, others, right? I mean, again, I don't want to downplay the seriousness of it because it is really impacting that resident.
Yes.
But just curious as to how many others may be calling.
And I can tell you this right now, from the west side, hardly any. To the north side, other than your concern, we don't get too many about them being on the road on the north. On the east side, again, Bohol, and
The more rural part, pretty much.
the more rural part. Every once in a while, somebody from I would say, off a mountainside and off it will call.
Okay.
But it's taken care of really quick. And sporadic from here and there. But I can break those down for you more.
Okay.
Hoping that someday that if that property ever gets developed to their Sidley's property, the airport backing up to Northridge Road, that once that gets developed, you remove that element of essentially. I mean, I grew up over there. That was back then. It was the dirt bike ATV track, So hopefully, at some point when that gets developed, that'll help alleviate a target for where these guys go and ride because it won't be there anymore. So
I agree, and I think it will. It's just it will get more congested between, the railroad track overpass and where the marathon is.
Yeah.
But nobody generally calls about right there. It's when they
to get there.
overspill into the Sidley
Right.
casement area, and when they take the railroad tracks past that certain intersection. Obviously, it's all against the law unless you can't do the railroad tracks at all. You will get fined, possibly arrested. Your bikes might get towed, and you cannot ride on private property unless you have specific permission. So if you're on those properties and you don't have specific permission that you'll have to be able to prove, and that you'd have to follow up on, you're in violation as well. So, and then some of the other complaints come from 535. He doesn't really call too often because we do have deputies on site there a lot, but some come from there.
Okay. Then-
Well, was there anything last weekend at night? We heard a couple big booms and a ton of sirens. Was there any major incidents like last weekend that you're aware of? Maybe it was in Mentor, but it was like at night the windows were open and we heard them, and then it was like a ton of sirens. So I didn't know if there was like some sort of gunfight or if there was like a.
I went through the logs and I have not seen anything
Okay. Maybe
that
it was in Mentor.
that rose my
Attention, yeah.
Okay. Rose to my attention.
Maybe it was quiet, so maybe it could have been down in Mentor somewhere, and we just heard it,
Yeah.
because we're right on the border almost. So.
And you
those-
don't recall anything, do you? No.
Okay.
The ATVs, do people trailer those to where they're doing it, or do they drive there?
Sometimes they trailer them, but if we can find and we're able to intercept where they trailer them. A lot of times it's local people that just drive them from where they're at. The Huntington Trailer Park is one of them where you have a certain place but then they all run there and hide, and then hide their bikes while they're avoiding us. So, sometimes we do intercept their trailers.
But would there be a place where maybe we could just set up an ATV area for these people to run their stuff? I mean, would they like actually go there and use it, or is it, I guess that was what my question was, if they were trailering places, if they had an actual place, like we got the Speedway for guys that want to race cars.
ATV park
You-
business, is
Yeah.
that what you're suggesting?
No, I'm just asking if there was if there was a place where these people could go,
Do you think they would?
do you think they would
quiet
go,
down?
or is it no, because they want it, the only way they would go anywhere is because they
My-
could drive there?
On that note, my suggestion would be just buy between the railroad trip, Marathon,
Right.
and KNS, because they love that area and fence it off. But no, it might eliminate it a little bit, but people will get bored with their area and
Okay.
venture out.
It'd be a great business opportunity for somebody to buy a chunk of land and have the insurance on it that they would need for liability.
Well,
and-
the question is would that help resolve the problem, or are they just driving from their homes to
It's
wherever
the-
they could
the-
get?
the
They don't
attractive-
have the trailer.
The lure of over there, and if, just from what I know, when I lived there, it's such a huge area that spans so many different terrains.
Well,
and
there's a lot
areas
of terrain in there and
that-
trails
that
and
people like. They don't want to be in one area. They love how they can go all day and be like all over the place.
Right.
So I think trying to keep them contained, I don't know if that would alleviate
Pl-
the problem. Because
plus somebody would, if you did that, you would have to charge a fee to enter, and I think that would deter people.
And you would have people from outside the area coming to ride on it,
right.
which is fine. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adds to
I was
the,
just wondering if there was a way where, there was a solution. Obviously, this has been going on since I got on the board 30 years ago. This isn't anything new.
yeah.
I was just wondering if
And you're
there-
not the only place having issues with it. I mean,
Right.
Perry and Leroy,
Yeah.
they're pretty
Anywhere there's
quiet
a lot of
about it,
land
but
there.
Concord
Somebody could
is
create a
having
business
issues with
with-
maybe
Right.
one or two
or a
neighborhoods.
house, but,
But,
no land.
Everyone else used to just live with it. I mean, that was just
Yeah.
part of living out in the country.
And I gotta say, it's not as bad as it has been in the past where we've had to team up with different people. I think that helped eliminate a lot of it. So, I mean, it definitely, for this time of year and what we were dealing with at this time last year, it's not nearly as bad.
Plus, last year this time, people didn't have were a little more
Cooped up.
reduced in what they could go do, so they had to find ways to outlet their energy. I think, but
Yeah,
now things are back open. People are working more and stuff, so they're probably
yes.
you know.
And the trailers will be coming out here shortly. I'm throwing a hitch on my car. It's nice weather out now, so I'm gonna get those to where those spots were needed.
Okay, up at 84 and Asbury Point
Yeah,
was
and then
one.
I'm gonna once it's done over there, I'm gonna put it over on Pebble Beach, and then we'll go from there. But I'm taking them as I come.
Thanks.
Anything else?
Get ours out on Pebble Beach. Is that
Oh, yeah. Got a park right there. It'd be great.
if that was a concern, somebody. Move on to department reports. Service department.
Just a reminder that the annual curbside brush collection will be Monday, June 7th. I don't believe we'll have a meeting before then. So
Monday, June 7th,
Monday, June 7th,
7 a.m.
brush, if they have it out by the curb by 7:30, by the time we get there. Tied-in bundles not exceeding 4 foot in length, brush only. This is not for leaves, this is brush collection.
You get
That's
something-
all I
No
have.
bags.
You want to get something on Facebook?
Yeah, that's
Do we also want to
Could send a push out.
do let's do an app push.
I'll do the content that I'm gonna do for Facebook, Mike. If you want, I'll just push it at the same time.
Sure.
Take it off.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll just duplicate the effort and just do the same thing.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Fire department.
Yeah, I brought it up in the work session, but just a reminder, or to anybody watching, that we're gonna be out testing hydrants. It'll be flushing them, all areas of the township starting today, actually. Between now and the end of June, we'll be out doing those periodically, depending on the weather. And if they see the guys, generally, we'd have no issues with the rusty water or anything like that, because we do flush them often enough. But if there is a problem with that, just a reminder, all you have to do is run the water for a while and it'll clear up. So, the other thing is, just that I didn't mention before, June 15th, 16th, and 17th, we are taking place with an active shooter drill that's at Lamuth Junior High. Zach Slaypack's here with us. He's one of the instructors for that, so he'll be helping us learn and make sure that we know how to handle those situations. So, thank you.
Okay. Zoning.
Is he a good guy or a bad guy?
What?
He's a good guy?
Maybe you wanna take him over, with your, when you go every.
Jack shows up every year at the children's Christmas party and volunteers.
So zoning permit applications are continuing to increase as they have in previous years. From January 1st to May 14th, we are at 148 zoning permits so far this year. This time last year, we were at 105, so we're up 43. And the difference between this year and 2016 is 94 permits. We were at 54 this time in 2016, so everything seems to be going well with our township residents and the projects and the economy, at least as far as zoning is concerned and that method of measurement.
So I think we've always really been able to turn around those zoning permits really quickly. So even if that does slide a little bit because of volume and being down to one person at the current time, I think we're still ahead of the game, ahead of a lot of other communities in the county, even if our time does slide a little bit. So.
Yeah, we are losing a little bit, but I'm doing my best to stay on top of them and keep that turnaround time under 2 weeks, preferably under a week, which I have been able to do some days, others not so much. But we seem to be doing okay. We're still above water. We're swimming.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Legal advisor.
Nothing to report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Administrator?
Mr. Chairman, just a reminder that during the months of June, July, and August, the trustees meet once a month on the third Tuesday of the month. And also starting in June, we will be live streaming the public meeting portion of our meetings only. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Fiscal officer.
The only thing I had, I don't see it here on the thing, was, was gonna ask for a resolution to certify a cleanup cost on one of the properties. I don't see it on our agenda here, but I don't think that's a big deal.
To do what?
Can we amend the agenda to?
Certify cleanup costs on a vacant lot.
If it's not on the agenda, we can add it. I
Do we
guess.
need to do it now or just do it next time?
It's up to you, but it doesn't matter.
Just certifying the cost to the tax duplicate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, just add it next time.
Okay,
All right.
I'll give it to her.
Okay. And then we're gonna.
That's all I had.
We're gonna have a resolution for a annual budget public hearing. Number seven on our list.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to add to that?
No,
No.
Okay.
Chuck's gonna be running that one.
All right. Thank you. All right. I need a motion to request a resolution approving payment to All American Fire Equipment in the amount of $3,704.68 for a thermal camera kit.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is this something we could use to, in the wintertime, at our township buildings to then, if we want to look for energy improvements, take a look? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know how effective. It's not designed for that. I know they
Okay.
have ones designed for that.
More
but-
sensitive for outside, Nicole.
But I'm sure it would show you where you were getting cold air in, yes. It would
Okay.
show, yes.
Or hot out.
Or hot out.
Yeah. Is that just one camera? Sorry, I should have asked those before.
Yep, that's one camera. It was a replacement. We had one break on one of our trucks, and it was not able to be repaired,
Okay.
so we had to buy it.
So we have one at every station?
Yes,
Okay.
one on every frontline engine.
All right, thank you. I need a motion to request a resolution approving payment to Countryside Truck Service, Inc. in the amount of $4,145.66 for repair on the 2005 Supfin.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to request a resolution approving payment to Rose of Sharon Fence in the amount of $3,969.08 for fencing at Chickanetti Park.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to request a resolution to declare a used car dealership at 1650 Menor Avenue to be a similar use to those permitted in the B3 Commercial Zoning District.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah.
Do we want, well, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, first, I think that, the issue I have with declaring it is on the basis of, used car dealerships are allowed used car sales are allowed as an accessory to new car sales in that zoning district. New car sales, through my research and checking around, require franchise agreement from a car manufacturer, a certain licensing type to allow for those types of operations. And that used car would be an accessory to that. Because that new car, you have a manufacturer that monitors the operations, the appearance, all those types of things, and that's why that used car would be an accessory to that, because we have that line there. This is not a new car. There is no franchise agreement. And quite honestly, in the beginning, when this application was presented, there was somewhat of a representation that was there, which is kind of troubling because that wasn't the case, which calls into question, I think, some transparency as well. So that's just, my take on that.
Okay. We'll go down the table here. So I've looked at this, and looking back at the history of the property, it looked like there was a permit issued years ago for a duration of 5 years that expired several years ago. At the time, we actually even reached out to the property owner, indicating that it had expired, gave them the option to renew, and that did not take place. Further research and getting some photos from our zoning staff, it looked like that property was actually in violation of several of the conditions placed upon it. Specifically, we have some photos from 2017 and 2018 where cars were parked for sale 2 rows deep in front of the building, right along the sidewalk, which was prohibited based on the permit they had at the time. Also, we have some photo evidence from 2017 of a business operating out of that building, other than what was actually listed on the permit. So those reasons, I'm quite concerned that they had the permit with conditions at this property that weren't being followed, which is why they were not following those conditions, which is quite a concern to me. Yeah, I guess that's what I would like to add.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I don't support this either, but point of clarification on what you said. You said their permit expired several years ago. I believe it was 3 years ago, correct? So, I mean, if several is 2, which is how I interpret it, and then so I think the township gives a 2-year leeway after that, and they're outside that window by another year. What I will say is that Painesville Township is a very business-friendly community, and we have specifically created zoning for this type of business in both the I-1 and the I-2 districts. But this district that they're requesting is Zone B3, and for that reason, I oppose it. I'll also say new car dealerships must be on, per our zoning, must be on no less than 3 contiguous acres, but this business will be on a lot that is less than an acre, and specifically 0.708 acres, 4 times smaller, more than 4 times smaller than what's required by the zoning. For that reason, I'll be voting against this also.
Okay. Anything else from you? Is that all you had?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right,
Thank you.
thanks. We had a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, I need a motion to request a resolution to adopt the zoning commission recommendation to approve the text amendments to sections 5 and 6 of the Painesville Township zoning resolution as modified in case 21 ZC01. And this is what we had the public hearing on at the beginning of the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to request a resolution to hire Patrick O'Haron as a part-time zoning inspector. Patrick is hired at a wage of $18 per hour and will not work in excess of 28 hours per week. Patrick's hiring date is May 25th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I need a motion to hold the annual budget public hearing on June 15th, 2021 at 11 a.m.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Trustees, anything else? Hearing none. Ask for a motion to adjourn at 11:31.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.